everybody. I have not posted any videos over the past couple weeks because I've just been dealing with recovery from my brain surgery, this pandemic, the loss of loved ones, and I just needed to take some time for myself. And that's what I really want to talk about today is mental health. I know that especially in the Black community that mental health is very taboo. It's not something that we talk a lot about. There's a lot of sayings of praying things away and fucking up and it's not that bad. Just a lot of gaslighting, I think, happens inadvertently, especially in the Black community. And when you're dealing with MS, it's this daily kind of reminder of the loss of a life that you used to have. And I am so blessed to have such an amazing support system, from my family to an amazing circle of sister friends. And I found over these past couple weeks that I couldn't really communicate to them what it was I was feeling, what I was going through, or what I needed from them in terms of support. And it felt for a while there that like any message, text, or conversation that I was having left me annoyed, left me feeling like they didn't really get it, just coming from like a really angry space. And I found myself just kind of shutting down and shutting people out, and wanted to know just how can I help my friends and family be there for me? What can I share with them to help kind of, guide them through, what it is that I'm going and the battle that I'm facing every day. And I don't have all the answers. I don't have, a how-to guide really, but I did want to take the time to think about what I needed and what maybe you need too, that you could kind of share with your friends and family, or if someone that's watching is an ally to someone fighting a chronic disease, hopefully you can try some of these out with your loved one. Not saying, everything works for everyone, but at least wanted to try to educate and communicate what is some of the things that I go through. I think that the big thing that people have to try to remember when facing a chronic disease or loving someone that has a chronic disease is this narrative that, there is no cure for what it is that you're going through. And most likely you're going to decline and your symptoms are going to worsen. And so I think that people, living with MS, I know, at least know for me, sometimes I feel like there's just like this clock now that I'm fighting against, that I want to make sure I can do everything, that I want to do or that I dreamed of doing before my legs stop working or before my brain atrophy becomes so much that I can't speak anymore, or that the issues with my optic nerve get worse and, I'm blind. And so there's this level of kind of like panic and urgency in everything that I want to do or everything that I've kind of like dreamed of doing. And with that urgency comes, kind of a lack of patience for others that aren't moving at like that same pace, or that just don't get it, or that, we feel are not taking advantage of the time that they have, or being lazy. Just all of these thoughts kind of come in, and then I wind up projecting that to my loved ones and being hard on them or harsh with them because I feel like they are not taking advantage of the blessing of time that I feel that they have over me. And there might be some truth, to that thought process, but in reality, none of us know how much time we have here, on this earth. So I could be thinking I'm racing a clock and someone else's clock could run out unexpectedly. So, we're all, kind of in this race together. And so that's something that I have to kind of keep in mind when I'm being maybe a little hard on my friends, or not as empathetic to whatever it is that they're struggling with in terms of different goals that they're trying to achieve. But what I know that I need from them is for them to understand that this clock, for lack of a better metaphor, is something that I'm constantly facing and something that I'm constantly dealing with every day. Every time that I forget or lose my train of thought or lose a word or break a glass or break a plate or fall, it's this reminder that what feels like my time is running out. And so it's wanting our loved ones to just appreciate that that's something that we're living with every day, and it really colors and can sometimes really color how we engage and just where our kind of mental state is at, especially if it's what's considered like a bad MS day. The big question I think that a lot of people ask that are trying to be supportive is, how are you, feeling today? And it is a question that I really don't like. I know that it is like with the best intention, but it's again kind of just knowing your audience and knowing that a person with MS most likely is not having like that great of a day. There was one saying that, imagine when you are having a sick day, from work, and you're sick, you're trying to maybe do some work on the computer, but your head hurts, you need to lay down, you're able to do some things, but then you're drained. And imagine if that was every day. And for someone living with MS, every day is some form of a sick day. We're rarely, if ever, feeling great. So if I say I'm having a good day, that means my pain is probably around a 5, which is what it is today. So I'm in a very, a moderate high level of pain right now. And I'm chalking that and marking that as a good day because I'm able to record this episode. I have enough energy and enough spoons to do that, but I'm still sitting here talking to you in pain. And so when someone asks, how are you feeling, or how are you today? It just gets redundant. And I found that a lot of folks I've talked to with MS, sometimes we feel like we want to just make you feel better. So we tell you we're doing great, or we're hanging in there, or, thumbs up. And it's just not true. And it's not something that we want to kind of be the person that, oh, if I text Marty, she's going to send me a laundry list of everything that's wrong with her. If I'm really being honest about how I'm feeling or how I'm doing today. My friend Deanna, she really is really thoughtful when she checks on me. She actually made the shirt, Trust Black Women, District of Clothing. She asks me, what's your pain number today? That's how we start our conversations. And I really appreciate that because she's acknowledging and giving space and validating that I'm in pain every day. And we start there. So she knows, I already know Marty's not having a great day. I already know Marty's in pain. I just want to know just where she's at today. What level is it at today? Because then from there, I can figure out what to say next, or, what to offer in terms of support. And so I think that that's just like a great way to engage with someone that's battling with a chronic disease. It's just kind of asking that because it's a known factor that we are in pain. That's a known thing. So if you start from that place, already I'm feeling more receptive and want to talk more and want to share more and don't feel like as much, of a burden. The other piece is what I've talked a lot about on my Instagram, as well as in other episodes, especially my Oscar episode about being sick, not ugly, and the invisible illness that is MS. And it's something that I think that I'm going to have to continue to talk about and continue to bring awareness to and to continue to fight for, because the idea of what sick looks like is really, really dangerous, because there are people that are differently abled that look completely different. It's a whole range of how someone can look that's differently abled. And chronic diseases, a lot of times, are invisible illnesses. I am recovering from an invasive brain surgery that was just 4 months ago. And at the looks of it, it's not something that you would ever know from the outside. And so I think the more that I can share and talk about and show people what sickness can look like, and then what sickness can also look like, I think it's going to help us understand and be more empathetic with people when we hear that they are struggling with something, and not judging. And so it's just a really, I think the main thing is finding a way to be kind and empathetic as much as you can. There's so much going on with MS that I learn every day in terms of how my body reacts. I found that MS and mood swings and what that relationship is, that, if you have a lesion on a particular area of your brain that triggers kind of those emotional sensors, that could play a factor in your moods, and why we can get so angry for no reason sometimes, or become very emotional when it doesn't seem like the situation really warrants it. And so it's just knowing that there's so much that's going on in our bodies that we don't even know. And for people with MS, it's giving yourself that grace that you are living this and dealing with this the best that you can every day. And this is a battle that you're fighting every day, all day, with no breaks. And I get emotional when thinking about how hard all of us are fighting. And I don't want us to ever give up, because I know that it feels sometimes like that's what we want to do, and try to lean on your family and friends. Don't shut them out. Don't push them away. Tell them what you need. Tell them what could maybe make you feel a little bit better. Tell them how you want to communicate, what's too much, what's making you more stressed, what's helpful, what's not, guiding them, because they're learning as well. And I know how much they want to be there for you. I know how much my loved ones want to be there for me. And we have to help each other and do that work to make sure that our mental health stays just as strong, because we need that sometimes, I think, more than anything when fighting this. I guess that's pretty much all I wanted to say, but I just want you to know that I'm praying for you, fighting for you, advocating for you, and I hope that you are doing the same for me. Stay safe and be well, and I will talk to you next time.